Okay, so I had a buddy that told me he had a bunch of charging blocks laying around his house and wanted to know if there was a way to just quickly test them all without having to plug his phone in a bunch and unplug it and switch cords. And so what I kind of came up with was I took a USB cord and I cut off the male end of it here. And what I'm going to do is I've taken an LED and on the anode side, which if you look in the LED, the cathode side is going to be your side. I know you can't really see it in this video, but if you're actually looking at the LED, your cathode side will be the side that has the big piece inside, and your anode side will be the piece that has this tiny piece connected to it on the inside. If you're actually looking into the LED, you'll know what I'm talking about. If your LED is brand new, then you will be able to tell your anode side because the anode stick coming out is longer than the cathode stick coming out. Your cathode is the short stick on a brand new LED. So what we've got is I've taken if you know anything about resistor coding, a 390 ohm resistor here, which is orange, white, brown. You can find resistors on a lot of boards. I chose this one because it lights up good and bright at about 5 volts, which is what most cell phone chargers should be. They're all about 5 volts. Current's a little different on some of them depending on the size of the battery it's designed to charge, but basically the voltage should be about the same on all of them. So what you're going to do here, if you're looking at the male end of this USB port, basically if you're looking at the paddle, you can see the prongs, the paddle's on the bottom, you can see the prongs looking up towards the sky. Your right side is going to be your anode, and your left side is going to be the cathode. So as we set it down, basically what that means is that your left side here will be your negative, which will be the stick side of the LED, and your right side, your right prong basically, is going to be the positive side. So you'll stick the resistor on there when you solder it, and I'm going to go ahead and solder that, and we'll bring the video right back. And I went ahead and soldered it, and you see that now we've got it connected. Remember that when you're looking at the paddle inside the USB port, which is the plastic, and you see those prongs, if the prongs are facing skyward, the right side is your positive and your left side is your negative. If you hook this up backwards, you might burn your LED with this resistor in place. If these are only 5 volts like they're supposed to be and functioning anywhere near correctly, you won't burn your bulb out. But if one of them isn't functioning correctly and putting out more voltage than you should have, it'll blow this bulb for certain if you put it backwards. But we'll go ahead and wrap some electrical tape around here to make it a little safer to handle, and we'll see how it tests. And so now we've got our electrical tape wrapped around here. We will go ahead and plug it in to one of these here charging blocks. And what we've got is magic light. So we know this block works. We take it out. We'll go ahead and stick it in the, here, Samsung, get a little product placement. Stick it in the Samsung block. Our light comes on. We'll stick it in, I think this is a ZTE block. And stick it on in there. And our light's lighting up. And then we'll check, this is an older Samsung block, pretty almost ancient technology here. And our light's not, oh, it kicked on, but it took a second. So chances are we've got a bad capacitor in here that's taking a while to charge up. Maybe a couple other components, maybe a transistor's messing up in there. You see, comes right on and we plug it back in. Takes a second to fade. Yeah, that's yeah, see, it takes a second to come on. So I wouldn't actually, I think the current on this one is possibly, it's 0.7 amps, so yeah, it's a little low. I probably would throw this block in the trash out of the rest of them. The rest of them popped right on. This one kind of, hesitated when it came to life. So I'd probably throw this one away just because it's old, cheap. These are cheap enough anyway. But that's just a neat little idea to be able to test some charging blocks you find laying around in your house.